Today I'm going to start a project of building new compost bins. I've got a bunch of new pallets from a salt distributor that wanted to get rid of them, and I needed some. And next to it is an old compost bin I built last year, and the intention was that I would add 2 more bays to this out on this side and be able to turn the compost out of the old bin into, or the new one bin into the second bin and then in the third bin. But as life happened, I never got the project finished. So now I'm going to finish it. First thing I've got to do is unload the current compost bin, and I'm going to just unload that onto a tarp, and then I'm going to move that and set up the new bin. And when we get done, we'll have a 3-bay compost bin along this fence here. And this is going to be a long project, probably several days. So I'm not going to film the entire process, but I'm going to film segments as I make progress and show how it develops as we go along. So I'm going to get busy now and get this compost bin unloaded and get it dismantled, and then we're going to start putting together the new one. And I've got some extra pallets that I haven't brought out here yet, but the backs of some of these are quite open where the forklift went. So I'm going to tear apart the other pallets that I have still sitting in the back of the truck, and we're going to fill those in, so we'll have a good solid compost bin. So I'm going to stop this segment and get started unloading, and then I'll come back and show the process as we build the new compost bin. This shows how much we got done yesterday. We got all of the pallets up and bolted together, screwed together, and they're ready to now proceed with some finishing touches. I'm going to put some rebar stakes, or 18-inch rebar stakes, that I'm going to drive down beside the pallets to keep them from spreading once the bins start filling up. You can see there's a pallet that I had to steal some parts off of, some boards to finish these that had openings in them, and I'm going to get a couple more pallets out of the truck and make boards for the front of these. One of the projects today will be to put the facing boards on the pallets with slide-ins for the boards that go down to block them. As you can see, this is the compost that I unloaded from the old bin yesterday, and that will go in back into this bin, into the second one. The first section will be reserved for fresh compost making. There's the old bin that I tore apart after unloading it, and it will be getting rid of those. So today we're going to be putting on the facing on these. I will also put some cross pieces on top at 45-degree angles to keep the tops from these spreading as they start filling up. So that's going to be today's project, and we'll get started here, and then I'll record where we're at. Okay, I finished most of the projects that I was planning on doing this morning, and they're looking very good. I put these cross pieces, 45-degree angle across the top, which will keep the side pieces from bowing out as the bin gets filled with compost, and that'll make those very stable on top. In addition to that, on the bottom I added rebar stakes so that the bottom of the bin can't, or pallet can't move in or out. And then I added these slides which will allow the sliding of boards in across the front to close off the bins and hold the compost in. So those boards are on, and they're ready now for me to go tear up some pallets and make the boards for the front of this. And then I have to line the inside of this with landscape cloth to keep the compost from going out between the slats. So I'll get that done, and then we'll put this compost that was taken out of the old bin, and this will all go back into the middle bin here, and we'll be done with this project for this year. Well, the compost bins are all finished now. They're lined with landscape materials so that the compost won't go out between the cracks in the pallets. And I've made some boards to close in the front of the one that I'm filling up. That was the compost that was in the old compost bin. It's been turned over and into the second bin here. And I'll start putting the new garden cuttings, trimmings, etc. in the first bin and start filling it again. By the time it's full, the second bin will be ready to turn over into the third bin where the finished compost to be kept. So all in all, it's a very good project. It was super easy to build. I used those Spax patio and deck screws. They're torque screws, and screwed all the pallets together and put on the trim and everything, and it was super easy. Those screws were a lot better than the original compost bin was put together with wire, and it was a bit of a pain to keep it in shape. So that completes the project of new compost bins. If you have any questions, post your comments down below.